Welcome friends, I'm Bev Adams. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I thought I'd show you this cute little tiny note card with a little tiny birdhouse. When I need a friend, you're there. Just a little quick note. Maybe it will go with a thank you gift for a friend. Let me show you. Let's get started. I'm going to use my envelope punch board and some Designer Series paper. Now I'm using some of our Designer Series paper that is retiring, and we just need 5 by 5 for this card, and I'm going to place it on the, let's see if I can find where we put it, 2 3/8. So I'm going to find 2 3/8 over here, line that up, punch and score. Oops. It's right-handed. So turn this around because I'm left-handed, and it works a lot better for me this way. Now, with this print, you probably can't see very well, so I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to line up this score with the mark, punch and score, and then I'm going to turn it, line it up with the score, punch and score, turn, line it up with the score, punch and score, and we come back to the beginning. And then this reverse punch, I'm going to punch over here. And the trick is to get that into the corner so it doesn't move. And then we're done with the envelope punch board. Then you just need to decide which side you want on the outside. Turn it around and it should be all ready for you to seal up. And so I'm just going to seal there. And I probably should not have gone all the way to the end with that, so handy hint, don't go all the way to the end. I'm going to set this aside so we can work on the card. And I based this card on some of our Naturals white cardstock that I had. I had quite a bit of it that was this 2.5 inches wide that I had cut for another project. This was basically scraps. And so I decided to use this as my card size, and I came over to my envelope punch board and found a 2.5. I could have made it 2.5 by 3.5 or 2.5 by 3, and so that's why I decided on this card size. I'm going to use crumb cake ink, and I'm going to stamp the crumb cake, and I've got both these blocks, these stamps on the same block. These are from Choose Happiness, which almost was my getting started set. I love it so much. It's got the wood grain banner, it's got some greetings. I've used this a lot. I love this flower and this border, and so we're going to put this border on the bottom of the card, on the bottom of the card front, and then on the inside we're going to use the greeting. I'm going to stamp my wood grain on this scrap of paper. I'm going to punch this out with my What's Up punch, but I want to put a little hole here, and I'm going to put it kind of near the bottom of this wood grain. And that's going to be the hole for the birdhouse. And so I'm going to make sure that this hole is below here, and I'm actually lining these up with this grain on the wood, and I want that hole centered between the two. There we go. And then I need a second birdhouse that's just blank. I don't have to stamp that one. Going to use that same punch to punch a roof for the birdhouse, lining that up again with the arrow. And while I'm punching, I'm going to use the bird builder punch, but I'm just going to use the leaf, and so I'm putting that in. This is 1 inch wide. If you have a 1 inch wide strip, you have less scrap flying everywhere. Okay, so I've got my 2 birdhouses, my roof, my leaf. I wanted to stamp the bird from Choose Happiness, and I want to put it over this border here on the right side of the card. Now I want to sponge a little bit of the crumb cake ink around the bottom of the birdhouse and sponge a little bit around the roof of the birdhouse. Using just a little bit of the edges of my Stampin' Dimensionals on the birdhouse. I want to put it to the sides of that hole. Then I'm going to put the back of the birdhouse right underneath, lining that all up. And that just gives a little dimension to my birdhouse. I'm going to put the roof of my birdhouse on. Again, that will line up nicely. And if you wanted to add a little dimension there, you could, I suppose. I'm putting the leaf using a little bit of the liquid glue. You could use glue dots too. Putting that right under the bird's feet. I'm going to stretch it over to the left as much as I can. Then I'm going to put the birdhouse right on top. And that completes the card. I have my envelope, and then there's just one more thing. I don't know if you noticed that this envelope flap just tucks right under there. I'm going to use the scrap that I cut my leaf out to punch out this shape from the Boho Blossoms punch. I don't know what we're going to do without that. That punch is retiring. What will we do? And then you'll have a scrap of the Naturals white cardstock, and that will be our flower. And so we're going to just close the flap and put a dot of whatever adhesive you want below that flap. And then you can tuck the flower so that it overlaps there. If you use liquid glue, you may need to hold that for a little bit. A little dot of liquid glue for the flower. Then I need to put a candy dot right in the middle of that flower, and my card is done. And it's ready to go. Thank you for stopping by. If you are interested in any of these products, come on over to bevadams.com and you can link to the online shopping. Some of these products are going away. The Natural Whites cardstock is retiring. The Designer Series paper stack is retiring. The What's Up punch with the arrows, and also the Boho Blossoms punch. But you could certainly make this with another Designer Series paper, with any of our cardstock for the card base. Choose Happiness will still be around. And the What's Up punch, I don't know if this birdhouse will be as easy to make without it, but you come on over and look through the catalog as soon as you can on June 2nd to see the new catalog, to see what's available. Thank you for stopping by. Talk to you soon.